Halo teman-teman, bola.com, balik lagi bersama saya Hery Kurniawan. Kali ini kita sudah kehadiran jurnalis dan juga konten kreator dan juga mungkin apa ya, football enthusiast dari Belanda. Ini dia Neal Peterson. Hey Neal, apa kabar?
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi ya, waktu Jakarta ya.
Yeah, not selamat pagi for me because it's I'm in Canada right now and we were just talking. It's I think 14 hours time difference. I just got into Vancouver, Canada, so it's two different worlds. But happy to be here and happy to talk to you.
Thank you, Neal. Any jet lag? You have good sleep?
Yeah, because the time in Amsterdam in Belanda is this time it's like 3:30 in the morning, so I have to stay awake a little bit, and then tomorrow I'll be fine. But it's all good.
All right. Okay, Neal, let's start our topic today. But of course,
yeah.
I think you already know the news yesterday. The PSSI decided to part ways with Patrick Kluivert and his coaching staff. So, what is your first reaction when you heard the news?
Yeah, so I think it's mixed feelings because, of course, I know how it goes in the world of football. Been working in this world for 20 years now, and I saw that everyone in Indonesia, I saw all the polls, Kluivert out during the game. I heard people asking the fans. So I wasn't surprised about the news. Do I agree with it? I think you can look at it in both ways, to be honest. But what I was surprised with is also that the under-23 and the under-20 coach is out. So I expected maybe Patrick Kluivert stepping down. I didn't know about the rest of his staff, the assistant coaches and everything. But it's just everyone is out. What we read until now, because there's not been an official press conference by Mr. Tohir yet. So I'm also very curious what he's going to say, and it's something that's not surprised me. Like I think, like I said, you can look at it in two ways. Most importantly is that, and I read a lot of messages also from the players over the last couple of days on social media. Also focus on the positive, and looking forward to the future. I think the future is bright for Timnas. I think the future is bright for football in Indonesia, but it's important to also to look at that. And of course, the disappointment is for everyone is huge, especially did you see the last game, Saudi against Iraq? Then it even hurt even more,
Yeah.
Because it's different. We were both in the stadium for both games.
Yeah.
So, but now sitting at home watching the game, I thought, oh my God. Yeah, it was really possible, But like that's football, you don't always get what you deserve. And it's closing a chapter now in the big book of Indonesian football. And I'm very curious about the next chapter.
All right. So you said that you're a bit surprised when all the staff, all the coaching staff in the under-23 and under-20 also out. So do you think that the PSSI and Kluivert before they have like something like agreement? So if Kluivert fail, then others should go or anything like that?
I have no idea. That's why I'm so. I was hoping maybe for a press conference from Mr. Tohir, but to be honest, I think it's also a really tough decision for him. Because I think it was less than a year ago, nearly a year ago, that he decided that Santan Jong had to leave, and he's bringing on a new coach. He has a real strong philosophy, Mr. Tohir, about what the future should be. Yeah. And now he decided this is not how he wants to go forward. Okay, it's his choice. He's the boss. He makes the choice, the decisions. But I'm curious why, why is everything going out? And we first have to listen to that. I've seen a lot of podcast shows in Indonesia already. People saying why it's happened. I prefer to listen first why, and then to react. But I was surprised, like I said, about the coaches from the under 20s and under 23s, but also other people in the staff, But yeah, we have to do this again when Mr. Tohier does a press conference.
All right. As I told you yesterday, he held press conference, but as a minister of sports. So
that's different, eh?
He didn't want to talk anything about the national team yet, and Patrick Kluivert. And Neal, I think you remember. I think you were in the press conference, right? When PSSI hired Patrick Kluivert in Jakarta. Or
no, I wasn't in Jakarta. No. I saw it live. I saw the press conference live.
Yeah. So I will talk in my chat. My initial reaction when PSSI decided to choose Patrick Kluivert is a little bit surprised, because if they want to change the coach back then, Shin Tae-yong from South Korea, some people in Indonesia still love him until today. But the option of Patrick Kluivert is I think PSSI should have better option, right?
Yeah.
Because when we look at history of Patrick Kluivert as a coach, is not very good.
No. Yeah. So yeah, it depends when you look. I also said it in a podcast. I think I did a podcast directly after the news with Coach Justin. We talked about it, and the thing is, how do you look at Coach Kluivert? Do you look at him as an individual, or do you look at like a team?
The whole,
so he started really well in Turkey. He did a great job with the Dutch national team in 2014 as an assistant coach. So being part of Louis van Gaal, and I thought, especially with some really good people in the staff, Sjoerd Woudenberg, who's known for being a real good goalkeeper coach. Of course, Alex Pastoor, Danny Landsaat.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think the whole group together, I thought that was really interesting. And of course, I know the former coach is really popular in Indonesia, and it's not strange that he's popular, because he also had some good results. Also, so people forget that he also made some strange decisions in games.
Yeah.
People forget fast, but that's okay, because he also took Indonesia to a new level. And now, Patrick Kluivert took Timnas to round 4, what's also a new level. And of course, I now know how it works in Indonesia. People expect more and more and more.
Yeah.
But looking at the whole period, I think it's a great step forward. And yeah, it was going to be the line was going to be very thin about qualifying, going to round 5 or not qualify. And you see the 2 games, I think there was more possible. But looking back, when you started this campaign, I think nobody expected to reach so far.
Yeah.
You were there at the beginning, at the first game.
Yes.
You were telling me. Nobody expected to be competing in 2025 still for the World Cup, right?
Yeah. Even me as a journalist never expected to
but it's not strange, but that's what I try to say to people. And people call me that I'm so positive, and I'm always positive. But I really like, looking at progress and what's an idea, what's the plan, and sometimes the plan doesn't work directly. But if you see what Mr. Tohier, I spoke to him twice this year in a podcast, and I think it was in March. I was in his office, and we talked really long, on camera and off camera, about what his philosophy is, what he wants to create. And then he said, and you can see it, if we qualify for 2026, it will be a blessing. Of course, we hope to be qualified for 20, but it's not the objective. The objective is to be in the future every 4 years with Timnas at a World Cup. That's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was hoping the same. And sometimes I really had the feeling we're going to qualify. And then, looking at the 2 games, it wasn't good enough. It's easy. It wasn't good enough, the 2 both games. You can talk about what happened in those games. I heard that the first goal of Saudi, the equalizer, was offside. than the most crazy referee I have ever seen. And I'm happy, because we were in the stadium. You heard me. I was a little bit emotional, like I'm always.
Yeah.
I talked to my friends in Holland, and they even texted me, Neal, we have never seen a referee like this in any game. In
You mean
any game.
The referee against
the
Iraq,
Chinese referee.
Yeah, Chinese referee, yeah.
I still cannot believe it. So, yeah, you then also need some luck. You need some luck, to be honest. And and of course, I hope that's the only thing I hope. I hope that the people and the fans from Timnas in the next couple of weeks, when people are settled down after the disappointment, also can look back on the great results, the great nights at GBK, you know, beating Saudi, beating Bahrain, beating China, seeing the development of this team, seeing the development of players, and also think, can be also be a little bit proud of all the players who gave everything, and the staff. If it's the South Korean staff before or the Dutch staff, they all try to develop Timnas for a bigger goal, you know. And sometimes it's difficult to have a conversation about that with the fans because they're so emotional. But I think everyone has, you know, and I read all the statements from the players and the coaches. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone loves Indonesia. Even playing for the country, you have seen it in the stadium. You have seen how devastated Kelvin was, Tom, the emotions. It means so much to players and even to the staff. So sometimes I would really want to ask the people in Indonesia, just think about them. Do they make wrong decisions? Sometimes they do. Yeah. It could have they make better decisions. I think so. But I think everyone has the right intentions to bring Timnas to a higher level.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. I couldn't agree more with you. But
okay, I'm happy that you agree because not always everyone agrees with me. Yeah.
Okay, Neal. Okay, so what do you think? What's next for the national team and Patrick Kluivert?
So yeah, I know that he's very disappointed. You saw his reaction at the press conference. You were sitting at the press conference.
Yes,
he nearly.
I asked him one question actually, and he almost crying.
Yeah, he cried, but. That's what you know, he's just a very nice and good person. He is always there for us as media. He will always talk to you by win. It's easy to talk to media when you win, but when you lose, and be honest. And I think he's a good person. He's a good person. It didn't work out. I think he will find a job in the future. But I think first he has really to, recover from this because it takes a lot from a person. And then I'm very curious about the new staff. Will we see the new staff like in, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the friendlies in November? Will we see it then? Or we will see them in March? I think March is the next step after November.
Yeah, I think November will be interim coach, I think.
Interim, that's what I think also. And then, hey, I'm really excited. Like I am, with the new coaches. I don't know who it's going to be. We have 1 year to prepare for the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting because how are we going to perform at the Asia Cup? It's going to be huge, you know. Of course. Do I think that we can beat countries like Japan? Going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. But can we, you know, perform better than we did before against them? That's going to be interesting. You know, how are we going to perform at a tournament with this team? So that's how I look forward, and I'm very enthusiastic. If you see the core of this team, it's a young team that really can compete for another 4 or 5 years. I think most of them. I think Jordi is a little bit old. Amat.
Yeah. 33, Jordi.
Yeah. So I think everyone still can play at the 2030 World Cup.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think not everyone, but most of them, yes.
You don't know how life goes, you know, in 4 or 5
Yeah.
years. Of course, you don't know. But if you look at the core of the team, yeah, I think they will have a good chance getting further the next time. And they have learned so much in the last 2 years. This team.
Yes.
If you talk to the players, it's unbelievable. If you see, for example, how Jay came in. I think Jay was Saudi away during.
Yes.
He was
Third
on the
round.
bench.
Yeah. No, his
Oh,
his debut is against Vietnam in the second round.
or was I against Iraq that he was on the bench?
Yes, Iraq. Yeah.
Imagine that. And 2 years later, or 2 years later, I think, 2 or 3 years later, he's El Capitano. You know how fast it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious, you know, about the future, the young players who are developing. Where's going to be Lino, you know, in 2-3 years? Rido, is he finally coming to Europe to play? Is he got but because I look back at the game against Iraq, they played really well,
Yeah.
Indonesia. They played really well. Lupi in the midfield.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Tom as number 10. He hasn't played there in a long time. Yeah, I was yeah, I don't know. And it makes me sad because they played so well. They deserved really, especially in the first half, they deserved more. And then the crazy Chinese referee. We'll make a story about that in the future because it was so weird.
Yeah.
And that's what also people forget, People forget also that they only look at, you know, the team. And of course, I always say you're responsible for your own actions, but sometimes you also have to look at the bigger picture. Playing in Saudi, only 3 days rest.
Yeah.
In what kind of world are we living? You know?
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Saudi and all the hosts, Saudi and Qatar, directly qualified. Yeah.
What doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Of course, they had the easiest schedule.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it is what it is. This is the world we live in, and we can complain about it, but it's not going to change. So we have to learn from this for the next time. And that's the only thing I'm always saying about this team. I don't think they were finished with Kluivert, the players, because if you see how they reacted after Saudi and they played against Iraq, mentally, physically,
yeah.
If you look at the first half and you don't tell people who played the game 3 days before, everyone would say Iraq because they had not a lot of energy. You know, they were not playing together. If you look at Indonesia, they were giving so much energy and power. So yeah.
Okay, Neil. So we have to look back at the round 4 qualification. As you know, the AFC gives advantage to Qatar and Saudi Arabia to become a house.
Yeah.
So do you see that will happen in Europe or only in Asia?
Yeah. I have never seen something like this before. So I thought it was a joke at the first time. I don't know who texted me. I think it was one of the players texted me. Look at the group. And I said, what? I thought he was messing. I don't know which player it was. I said, what? And then I think the approach was right. You can complain about everything, but they just said, okay, we cannot complain. I think the PSSI put in a request. You know, I saw the coach from Oman at the press conference. He was, you know,
Carlos Queiroz,
yeah. But no, it is what it is. Yeah, and I hope the AFC learns from this because it's of course very weird. Everyone in the world thinks it's very weird.
Yeah. Even in Africa, they will have the playoffs in neutral venue in Morocco.
Yes, of course. I just landed here in Canada. I was talking to two guys from Canada. Vancouver is going to be, I think, one of the cities during the World Cup. And he said, I said, oh yeah, Indonesia, Timnas. He said, what's going on there? So even in Canada, you know, people were talking about Timnas.
Neil, about the next Indonesian national team coach, do you think that there will be another Dutch or European coming to Indonesia?
Yeah. So the thing is also, normally if you appoint a coach, there's a technical director. In the last situation, they first appointed the coaching staff, and after that, the technical director.
Yeah.
So I think now Mr. Tohier with Alexander Sviers, they will have an idea of what's going to be next. And like, people also think that I care more about Kluivert than about Santayong or the next coach. I could care less. I want that Timnas succeeds. I want that Indonesian football succeeds. You know, do I prefer a Dutch coach? No. Why? I want to have a good coach. I thought this coaching staff could have qualified with Indonesia. Yes, I really believed in that. But it didn't work out. So, yeah, who from which country? It should be a good coach that can really help develop Timnas, the first team. But also, what I think it's important, how's the future going to look with the under 17s, on the 19s, on the 20s, on the 23s? What line are you going to build in that? So that's why I was also surprised that the under 23 and under 20 coach is gone. You know, maybe they were disappointed about the results from the last two friendlies from the under 23s that they didn't win last summer. That's possible, but then again, I'm repeating myself. We have to hear the answers from Mr. Tohier.
Yeah, then, and I think PSSI have they should not take a rush, so they have to choose the.
No, sure, take your time. Yeah, there's no rush now. And to say one thing, I'm really happy that Mr. Tohier is still in. I saw so many messages that he also had to leave, and then you're really in the moment judging, because it's easy, like I always say, easy to judge people afterwards, you know. It's easy, you know, but sometimes I get a lot of direct messages, sometimes nice, sometimes not that nice, that I cannot come to Indonesia, according to a lot of people. No, not a lot of people, a few people. It's okay, people can write what they want, but sometimes I just want to write back. I don't do it. Do you even know what the bigger picture is, what the idea is, what the PSSI is doing for football in Indonesia? The Garuda Academy, what I think is something you can be very proud of in Indonesia. And for the people listening, they have no idea. If you love football and you're not a talented player like Tom Haye or Kevin Dixon, you cannot play for Timnas or you cannot play professional play, you can work in football. I was in Surabaya against the game against Lebanon. The press conference was organized by people who are doing the Garuda Academy. Shout out to those people. Young people with a passion for football and really want to work in football. These are the new steps, you know, looking at the stadiums, making them safe, about referees, grassroots. It's all about the future from Timnas. And the man responsible for building all these projects is Mr. Tohier. So that one of the projects, what was even not a goal, we just discussed it, qualifying for the World Cup now. No, I think maybe 2030 it's more realistic, or 2034. You want him to leave because he didn't achieve something that wasn't even a goal. But and then all the other projects, imagine him leaving, a new president comes, and all the projects are closed. The whole philosophy is gone. That's what I want to say to people. Think about the bigger picture. You can say everything about him, you know, what he did in the past, what he's doing now, but just look at his plan. Give him the time to build something. Otherwise, every 3-4 years you will have a new president, a new coach, and you will never ever build something.
Yeah, that's what happened in Indonesian football before Erick Thohir came. A lot of back then, we even have two organizers in the PSSI, two president. So
I spoke to this, like I spoke to Sergio van Dijk about this, to Nick van der Velde about this.
Yeah.
And they both say, and they're long gone from playing in Indonesia or playing for a club in Indonesia. They said to me, Neal, it looks like it's getting stable now, and that's the only thing Indonesia needs.
Yeah.
And then also, yeah, like I've said it before, Mr. Tohier doesn't need to do this. He succeeded in life already.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He really feels that he wants to build something for Indonesia. And then, yeah, give him a chance. If you see, if I saw, I think it was one of my highlights this year. I want to say the kids. They're I think 20, 22, 23, the young adults.
Yes.
When I saw them working in Surabaya, I took a picture with them. We had a nice chat, and I felt that I thought, oh my God, this is really. We don't even have that in Holland.
Oh, right.
The KVB, the Dutch Football Association, doesn't have this. And then I look at Garuda Academy, like women and men together organizing a press conference, telling me, oh yeah, it's my passion working in football. I think, yeah, that make me really proud about, you know, that the football in Indonesia is developing in different levels.
Yeah, as you said, Garuda Academy, and I think PSSI try to improve in many areas. You know, our league, even our second tier league have VAR right now, and and of course it's easy to be negative, to bash, to grab your phone and be negative, you know, and that's for everyone. If you want to live your life like that, sure. But if you look at the bigger picture, what do you want? You want Indonesia to succeed in different levels. Okay, have a little faith in people trying to build this, you know, and otherwise do it yourself. You know, yeah. If you always know it better, but that's a lot of things. People, we call them the knights of the desktop. So sitting behind their desktop, sitting behind the mobile, chatting, and just, you know, commenting and not doing anything. Become a coach, become a referee, do the Garuda Academy, apply to be in the PSSI if you know better. Yeah. But that's my philosophy in life. If you know better, go do it. Yeah. All right. Okay, Neal. Right now, I think I want to talk a little bit about you, about your roots. Okay. I think many people already knew that you have Indonesian roots, right? Could you? Yeah, my dad is born in Jakarta. Yeah, my dad's born in Jakarta. He moved when he was 6 to Holland, and so I've been raised with an Indonesian father and an Irish mother. My mom is from Ireland. All right, and, that's why your name is Peterson, right? Is it Irish name? Neal. No, it's not an Irish name. It goes way back. My last name. Now Neal. My first 2 names are Neal Ronan, are Irish names. But so I was very luckily and very privileged having 2 cultures being raised. So the Indonesian part is on Sundays we were always together with the Indonesian family. Makan, you know, my dad or my grandmother would always make the most delicious food. The Irish part is we would travel a lot to see my family in Ireland, and I traveled with my dad also a lot, with my parents to Indonesia. But my dad didn't want to go back to Jakarta; it's too painful. He doesn't talk about it, leaving the country, and so I make a podcast in Holland. That's with. It's for the Dutch public television or the public radio, and I interview famous Dutch people who are related to Indonesia. Oh, right, so the third generation. So the third generation, and it's so strange to see that we are really proud to have a connection with Indonesia, but the first generation or parents or grandparents, they never really wanted to talk about it because they're hurt that they had to leave Indonesia. So that's a project I've been doing for the last 2 years. And then, of course, when you're getting older, you want to do more, you know, what you feel, what your heart is about, you know. So that's also how we started the highway. Like Tom and I are friends. We have a big love for football. We have Indonesian blood. And then we decided, let's do something together like this. All right. Okay, guys. Watch the highway and watch bola.com, yeah? That's awesome. But you know what the funny thing is? Because people said, oh, are you going to quit now with the highway? Because no, we're here for the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, we're building something. I don't believe in doing something for the short term. And to be honest, this, like the 8th of November 2024 is when we started. And if you see how many beautiful experience we experienced with the highway, Tom, myself, but like meeting you, without the highway, I would never have met you, your colleagues, you know, fans in the stadium, other media. It's just been very mind-blowing, and it fills my heart. My heart is full, like with yeah, I feel very grateful, and I'm very humble for all the love I've been receiving from the people in Indonesia. Even conversation with you, you know, walking and following the national team, it's something special. I said to you, it's very special that we are able to follow the national team.
Yeah.
And that we're part of it. Yeah, and so, and that's also what I also think is always very important. And it's, of course, people don't know. People say, yeah, you're only making money with the podcast about business. So I can say it once and for all, it's only costing me money. Because if you really follow the highway, we rarely have sponsors. We haven't had sponsors. And we could care less. Of course, we would like to work with Indonesian brands. But for us, it's more important to tell the story. You know, so flying to Saudi, flying to Surabaya, flying to Bandung, flying to Jakarta. It's, you know, it's because we believe in this. We believe in telling stories and showing more about how beautiful Indonesia is. The last 2 videos we made about the Super League, going to Persija. That's what we love, you know, and I think the world should see more how beautiful Indonesian football also can be. So, yeah, I'm just very, very grateful. And it's also for my dad. My dad is very proud. He shows always the videos to everyone. But it's also emotional because, yeah, you know, it's the country who it wasn't his choice to leave, you know. They had to leave. So it's also difficult sometimes for him if I'm in Surabaya or in Bandung, you know. Yeah, it feels also like missing for him.
All right, right. So, any plan to come to Indonesia with your dad, watch Timnas maybe?
So that's a good question. You're the first one who I'm going to tell this. I would love to take him one time with me. Then he has to go to GBK with me. So he has to go back to Jakarta. And it's so funny you asked me this question. I was thinking about it on the flight here. That yeah, it will be a full circle moment, you know. You all seen the video when Tom made his scored against the Philippines, I think, and the connection with his dad after the game, you know. Yeah, it's I talk also to Tom about it, you know, about how we are, our character. We're so Indonesian, you know. So we don't talk a lot about emotions. And that's something we want to open up, you know, the conversation also with their family. So bringing my dad there would be, I don't hope he sees this interview. Probably he will, because he's always looking for everything when I'm on the internet.
Yeah.
But it would be a great surprise next year. So I would prefer him to take him to Indonesia than take him to the Asia Cup in Saudi, because I think we should do the whole Indonesian experience.
Yeah. Take him to GBK probably when we play again. Hopefully we play again Malaysia
in March, right?
Yeah, March.
Oh yeah, so that would be great, man.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we played them, so I think
there were some rumors, right, to play in September, this September against them, right?
Yeah, September,
there were some rumors.
Malaysia didn't accept the invitation from PSSI.
Yeah,
because they have their own problem, right?
So yeah. They have more problems than we have. Yeah. So what do you think about the whole situation with Kluivert and Mr. Tuhier?
The situation is a bit difficult for me also, because as you know, as you hope that I also want to the best for Timnas Indonesia, and right now I think PSSI try to cut with Kluivert, and they're trying to I think who can I say? I think they try to erase the mistake. They appoint Kluivert is, I think, a mistake for them. So they try to.
Do you see it as a mistake also or not?
Yes, I think so. I'm a Barcelona fan and I respect Patrick Kluivert so much as a player.
Yeah, sure. But it's not about the person. It's more about the decision.
It's not about the person, but the whole things, as you said, we have to see the whole things. Yeah. And we've been there in round 4 in Saudi Arabia. I'm a journalist, I think, for 10 years, still new, right? Yeah. I've been a journalist in 10 years, and I'm very proud of every Indonesian national team. All the players, the staff, they reach high level and very close to qualify directly to the World Cup. But as you said before, we still have many times. We have the players, we have the resource to be better in the future.
Yeah. No, true. And like I said, I also think, I go back, do you think the chance would be bigger with Santayong, to qualify, I don't know. Because, the decision has been made because something wasn't good.
Yeah.
You don't make a decision if everything is good. Everyone forgets that, huh?
Yeah.
And then of course, sometimes, I don't forget, I never forget the first 20 minutes against Australia, how good Timnas was. PK, the header of Jay, what a great save of Matthew Ryan. Kevin missed the penalty. But, I always go back in my head, what if, you make the penalty and Jay makes the header? You are 1-0 ahead. Australia was vulnerable at that time. But in the end, not good enough, and we'll never know. I don't know if, excuse me. I don't know if it's a mistake, but let's see what Mr. Tohier says about it, and then we can talk about it. How he looks at it.
Let's wait. I think they will clarify everything at Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. So Neal, I think that sums up our conversation today.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Of course, always. Like I said to you in Saudi, if I ever can help you or anything, it's and I like if you go to the press conference, please ask Mr. Tohier why we didn't see a lot of journalists in Saudi.
Yeah, I will ask him.
Yeah, because we were the only with some.
I think the problem is not with the PSSI. The problem is with Saudi Federation, I think.
Yeah, but like I think the PSSI should say something about that.
Yeah, I have a friend who works in media for PSSI. They said they already gather all the documents from media who will travel to Saudi. I think more than 10 persons. Yeah. They send it to the Saudi, the email and everything, but never have replies from them.
But then PSSI should say something to AFC, right?
Yeah. I think so.
It's a small thing, but like there are always so many journalists, and you like what I always say, you can find everything about people, what they write, what they say, or the opinion. But I think the media should stick together and help each other. So if we're the only two sitting there, and then we had some, of course, also from the Netherlands, we are the only 3 following Timnas.
Yeah,
it's not right. It's not right.
Yeah, compared to Iraq, I have friend from Iraq, 82 journalists.
Did you see how angry they were with me during the game? The journalists from Iraq. Sorry to everyone in Iraq. I was a little bit emotional.
Yeah. Oh, Neal say a lot of things during the games, right? Against Iraq.
Yeah, I was so emotional. I was so angry, because it's so important in a game like that. Like sometimes it feels that I'm still on the pitch, myself. But
Yeah.
That's been in the past. Yeah.
All right. All right. Neil, I think we are very interested to have interview with Tom one day. So
Sure.
I
I'll ask
think.
them.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for
Of
that.
course. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And for Tom, Tom is, it depends, you know. Tom is now at the moment very, very disappointed. You know,
yes, of course.
you saw
No,
his
this
tears.
time, yeah.
You know how much he cares. You know, and I spoke to all the guys. Like I spoke to Jay, to Kevin, Martin. I will see Martin here. Martin is playing here. Coincidence, he's playing in Vancouver this weekend.
Vancouver Whitecaps, is it the club?
Yeah. So I'm here for other work. So we're gonna
Yeah.
meet Sunday. We're gonna do a coffee together. But Ole, you know, I spoke to all the guys. They're so
Yeah.
their heart is broken, you know. So yeah, I think it will take a time before they will do, you know, interviews
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. But of course, you know, if you want to do something with Tom, I will ask it also. And,
All right. All right.
yeah.
So then, thank you very much, Neil. So
Of course,
hope you're always healthy and everything.
you too.
Yeah.
Makasih banyak for your time.
Terima kasih.
And sama-sama. And then we'll talk another time. Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Terima kasih.